Hello, and welcome to Movie Phone.
Hi, this is TK,
And this is Tony.
and this is Movie Widow Media, and we are going to talk to you today about the newest installment in the Exorcist franchise, The Exorcist Believer.
Believer. Before we even go further, happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah,
it's that time of year. That's why we're doing this movie.
Right.
You'll probably maybe even see a few more videos coming this month because this is our favorite time of year for both of us. We love Halloween.
Spooky season. And I don't like it when people call it that. I hate that. I mean, it's Halloween, but I think people have started calling it spooky season because other cultures
They're really
celebrate.
They're doing that?
Yeah, you haven't heard people call it spooky season?
No.
Yeah.
Gosh. When will this political correctness come to
It's
an
not
end?
politically correct. I just think it sounds corny. This movie's directed by David Gordon Green.
The same guy that directed those recent Halloween movies that everybody loves.
And it stars Leslie Odom Jr. of Hamilton fame. And if you're not a Hamilton fan, you've probably seen him singing the jingle for Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. It also stars Ellen Bernstein, who played, what was her character?
She played
Chris McNeil.
Chris McNeil, an aspiring... No, she was actually an actress.
She played Chris McNeil in the original Exorcist.
Yes.
That's all I was getting to. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And she's she's reappearing here. In this
Yes,
installment.
she's... well, we can't say this is her first reappearance because she's been back a couple times, especially that series you were telling me about.
No, she wasn't in that series.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Has she been in other movies?
Not
Exorcist movies?
Exorcist. I
Okay.
apologize.
All right. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'll get to that, though. You're jumping ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it also stars Ann Dowd, who you've probably seen in Hereditary. She's become actually one of my favorite actresses.
I see her in everything.
And anything that's scary, if you see her in a horror movie, you know it's guaranteed to be scary because I loved her performance in Hereditary. Okay, first of all, disclaimer.
We're going to tell on ourselves.
Yeah. Tony and I saw this movie at a special screening
Months ago.
August, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a special screening August. We couldn't talk about it then because
we signed NDAs, couldn't say anything. But we're so close to release date, we figured, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be released this week, so I don't think it's a big deal. But yeah, we saw it before. Just another disclaimer, just to be totally transparent. We will not see or have not seen it since we saw the special preview a few months ago. We don't think the scenes have changed that much. And
I don't get that impression. I've seen the trailer, and I don't get the impression a lot's changed anyway.
Yeah, I don't get that impression either. And sorry, you probably hear our dog Cozy in the back. She wants to obviously appear in this.
And you may see me grimace from time to time. That's her biting me.
Right, or yeah. So, but anyway, so yeah, we've seen this movie a couple of months ago in August. Don't plan to see it again in theaters. This is ticket or stream it, and we will get into a little bit more of why we don't care to see it again. But seen it months ago. We're working off of memory here. So here's the setup. Leslie Odom Jr. plays a single father, a little girl. I forgot the characters' names. I'm horrible with remembering that. He has his background. He became a single father because he was a photographer. I think they were in Haiti when that big earthquake hit out there because it's set in present day, and lost his wife. So he's a single father. His little girl, they're preteens. She's friends with another little girl whose parents are like ultra religious. The girls sneak off from school one day. They disappear into the woods. They come back possessed.
And they come back after 3 days with no remembrance of what happened.
Right.
And they start acting funny.
Right.
Strangely.
Right. So that's the setup. What do you want to talk about next? I'll hand it over to you from here.
I'm a big fan of the original Exorcist, 73, of course. This movie is an attempt to revigorate the franchise, bring it up to modern days, that type of thing. You know, we're in an age of sequels and remakes, so it's not anticipated this would come out. I'm hearing some other reviews out there, Rotten Tomato scores that are not good, and I think they're a little harsh. But the overall movie, not that good.
Mm-hmm.
The pacing is kind of strange. We're CGI based, of course. You know that's going to be the case. Characters come and go. A little bit disjointed would be my overall perspective. And specifically, I actually liked the little girl actresses. I mean, it must have been hard to do what they were doing in the movie, but they bring in a key character. Well, we already know Ellen Burstyn's in the movie, so they bring her in and immediately make her ineffective to the plot, and you're left with the impression of why would they even bring her in to begin with. So
she was completely wasted here. I mean, she was so great in the first. I mean, one of the reasons why I love the first Exorcist movie, not only is this one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, and most other people feel that way, but her performance was just so real. It was such a good performance, and I think she's wasted here. So I just wanted to interject and say that.
Yeah. The disjointed aspect takes over everything. I mean, people act strangely for their characters. We all know that eventually all of these movies come around to I want to see the Exorcist scene. And that in of itself is kind of strange in this one.
You mean the exorcism?
Exorcism, yes. Different religious groups come together to confront the beast.
I forgot about that part.
And nobody has dominance. Nobody. I think at the last minute they get a priest in there, a real priest. But it's strange the way they handled it.
I actually like that part of the movie, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I forgot about that part. Going back to the plot, it was disjointed. It was thin. I like the concept of having the double possessions with the little girls, and I wish I had done the research and remembered their names because they did a really good job. Very believable, as you can be in something like this in their role. So shout out to them. I just don't know the young actresses' names. There's a particularly scary jump scare that happens that they kind of give away in the trailer. If you've seen the official trailer, that was really creepy, involving a little girl that plays Leslie Odom's daughter. The plot was just thin. I think they could have done so much more. It didn't seem, like you said, consistent. They were kind of all over the place. I think they were doing it just a little bit too much. I did like the performances. Leslie Odom Jr., he's one of my favorites. He never disappoints. Sometimes when you get these actors from the stage, because he comes from Broadway, again, Hamilton was his breakout role, they can overdo it a little bit when they're giving a film performance, but he still has that Broadway showiness, but he's restrained enough to tone it down when he's in front of a film camera, and he's just a really good actor, excellent singer. I just love him. I hope to see him in more things. Ellen Bernstein, talked about her a little earlier. She's awesome in anything I've seen her in, but she's so wasted here.
It's actually Burstyn, mother.
Burstyn. I'm sorry, Ellen Burstyn. I knew I was doing something. Ellen Burstyn. I stand corrected. She's very good in this, but I felt like she was wasted. Ann Dowd, I mentioned her in Hereditary, where she played the creepy, if you've seen the movie, she's the creepy grandmother who brings the main character into this. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And if you see Ann Dowd, again, I'll repeat it, if you see Ann Dowd in any horror movie, go see it, because she's going to be very effective in it, and the movie's probably going to be really scary. I'm working off of notes here because I have ADHD. So going back to the plot, there was a 2017 TV series The Exorcist, based off The Exorcist, that was very, very much more scarier than this movie. I mean, like Tony said, everybody's waiting for the exorcism scene, and it kind of feels like everything's just building up to that. But if you go and you check out that 2017 TV series, it was on for 2 seasons. Believe it premiered on Hulu. You can still catch it on streaming, and I think you said it was just released on physical media.
$5 for 2 seasons. That's a good deal.
Currently, you get 2 seasons for
actually that's
for
streaming.
Seasons.
That's a streaming deal,
right? From Voodoo. I think Voodoo. Yeah. So it's a really good series. You should check it out if you're an Exorcist fan. I remember seeing the first few episodes and just raving about it to all of my horror loving friends, because it was very, very creepy. I didn't like the second season so much because from what I recall, it's been a while. I haven't gone back and watched it, but it kind of took that whole sexy priest angle and it focused on him a little too much, and it kind of lost its creepiness. Sharon Glass from Cagney and Lacey, and I'm sure she's done other roles since then. I'm blanking on what she's been in recently. Burn Notice, I think she was in Burn Notice. Anyway, she played Chris McNeil, Ellen Bernstein's character in the series. So Chris's character has stuck around for the different reiterations of The Exorcist as Reagan's mom, the possessed girl, you might recall, Linda Blair's mom. Chris McNeil is the name of the character. So,
as we said earlier, they brought Ellen Burstyn back in to do what amounts to basically a bit role. This is a major spoiler. They get a character that all know and love from the original shows up for 3 seconds. That's it.
Yeah.
And of course, us old heads, we want to know what's going on with those characters, if they've changed. I had a thought. They could have made this movie with Reagan coming back fully as some kind of consultant for just basically what Ellen Burstyn was playing. But she could say, hey, I was possessed by this thing. I know how it thinks. I know how it acts. And that opens up all kind of tributaries for the plot to go down. I thought that would have been a better movie, but that's just me.
I mean, maybe they'll take it there. I mean, he already spoiled it. So Linda Blair comes back in a cameo role as Reagan. I guess we won't go as far as to tell you how they kind of weave her into the plot. But I get the impression that they are gonna do another installment.
Oh yeah, the plan is a trilogy. They want to do a trilogy.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do plan to do a trilogy. So I have no doubt that they will probably, if Linda Blair,
maybe she will come back.
Yeah, if she's willing to do that. I mean, they got her for this. Maybe they backed up the Brinks truck for her to do that, as to say, I don't know.
That was going to be my expression.
Yeah, I got that from you, actually. And so, but I don't know. I mean, I know that I follow her on Twitter because I'm an animal lover, and she is too, and she's dedicated her life, it seems like, here in the last few decades, just saving animals and pet animal advocacy or whatever. So I haven't seen her acting in anything else, but it was great to see her. Hopefully, since this is a planned trilogy, they will kind of take that route.
They could.
Yeah, because I mean,
it all depends on how this movie does.
Yeah, because I'd like to see an exorcism. Exorcism movies are some of my favorite movies. And I don't recall a movie where they go into the mind of someone that has been possessed. And if they even have any memories of it, or what they were.
I swear we're writing the plot of the next movie.
Right. So yeah. Oh, and shout out to The Exorcist, because it was originally released in 1973, so it officially turned 50 years old this year, and so did I.
I know what you're saying. Why, Tony, that's the ugliest artwork I could possibly imagine. This is the new 4K. Yeah. The transfer's good, but not this cover art.
By the way, we got the Steelbook. It was supposed to be a birthday present for me, but somebody put in the wrong address, and it ended up not getting delivered to us from Best Buy, and who knows who got it, but I didn't get it, and I was sold out. So Steelbook was a better cover, because that sucks. I don't know who put that together. But yeah, shout out to The Exorcist. It turns 50 this year. And William Friedkin died
Just passed
this year.
away a few months ago.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make a joke that's probably in bad taste here, but knowing him, it's probably a good thing that he did die before he saw this movie, because
he's an ornery guy, or was an ornery guy, I should say.
And he felt very protective of his movies and his adaptations of films and stuff, and I'm sure he would have been very vocal about this, or he may have liked it. Do you think William Friedkin would have liked it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well,
He wants to believe, or did want to believe, I need to change the past tense, that his was the only movie ever made in terms of The Exorcist.
I mean, it was the greatest. I mean, it is one of the greatest horror films of all time, so shout out to him, and rest in peace. Yeah, I mean, this segment is called Ticket or Stream It. It is unfortunately, it's a stream it for me.
We need to come up with a new category that's less than stream it.
It wasn't that bad.
Here's the thing. They kind of got you're by the cojones this time of year, because it's Halloween. People want to see a scary movie. So anything in the theater is likely to draw some buzz and an audience. But there's a lot of, let's say, classic horror. You could go back and watch The Exorcist again in 4K this time of year, and you'll love it. That you could be watching.
Yeah, I mean, I've lost your point, though.
Well, people want to watch something, like I said. If they want to go to the theater, it'll be this, probably. I don't know much coming out this month. Do you?
A lot's coming out. 2023 was full of a good many horror films, whether they were released in a theater or through streaming. Stay tuned for our review of No One Will Save You. No One Will Save You? Is that the name of it?
No One Will Save You.
No One Will Save You, which was an excellent new release through Hulu, through streaming, an alien abduction movie. So we're going to review that one next. So to my point, 2023 had a lot of good horror films, I think. And I don't know what's coming up, but Exorcist is a sure bet, and he's right. It's Halloween, and anybody that loved The Exorcist or loved horror movies, they're definitely going to want to check this one out. I was disappointed, and that's very disappointing. But I mean, it's kind of hard to what's the term? Lightning strike.
Right, they've
one place, same place at one.
Objectively, I mean, Exorcist 3 might be an exception, but they really have not made a good Exorcist movie since the first one, and they've been trying for 50 years now.
Yeah, and I don't know why they wanted to reboot this one, and if they did, they should have done a better job, but I just wasn't a fan of it, and that was disappointing, because love The Exorcist. I mean, The Exorcist is the reason why I love horror movies. My father, like I said, this movie came out the same year that I was born, in 1973, and my father, who I inherited my love of horror movies from, apparently went to the drive-in, because there were drive-ins at that time. That's how old I am. To see this movie, I think he said 16 times. So he loved it. And so when it got to TV, when I was a little girl, it was one of the first horror movies that I saw, and I've just loved horror movies ever since then. So it was kind of disappointing, but yeah. So it's a stream it for me.
Stream it, no doubt.
Yeah.
You can even wait on this if you want. I mean, till it actually streams. It'll probably do well at the box office, just because of what we were saying. It's Halloween, scary, and The Exorcist. But
right.
True proof in the pudding will be when they release the first sequel, whenever that is.
Release the first sequel to this one?
To this one, meaning part of this second part of a trilogy.
Those usually just don't do well just by default.
That's
right?
true, because they're bad.
Yeah. So but hey, that's our review of The Exorcist. Those are our thoughts. Any parting thoughts? Any final thoughts? So we pretty much wrap this one up.
I would say our audience has seen the recent Halloween movies, so you go in with that type of expectation when you see this.
What else had that guy done? Do you know anything else he's done besides Halloween?
I can't
don't know
remember,
him.
but he's been around for a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's our review, folks. Wish I had better news for the Exorcist fans, but it just really wasn't all that. But upside, we got to see it for free. We got to see it a few months before anybody else did, and now we're finally able to talk about it. So, hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notifications for other content. And we got a lot of other content coming up because, again, it's spooky season and we have a lot to talk about. Specifically in the physical media space in November from Barnes & Noble's Criterion sale, there's going to a lot of good titles coming out with the horror titles specifically.
Right. I might even sneak one in early. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I might too. I mean, there's a lot of good titles coming out. But anyway, about The Exorcist, those are our thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you later.
You sure will. Bye-bye.
Bye.